Hi, Eric. How are you?
How's it going?
Good, good. How are you?
Doing well, thanks.
Cool. How's the workout?
Great.
All right.
Shoulders and back a little sore, but
Okay.
that just shows you had a good workout.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's Monday. It's not chest day for you today.
I usually do. I actually do back and chest.
Okay. Yeah, that's the standard split. You gotta combine the two. That makes more
Exactly.
sense. Yeah.
Then I alternate. Then I do legs and then arms and trash.
Nice. Okay. What's your PR for the bench?
I actually don't bench as much by myself.
Sure.
Mostly just with friends, but about 170.
Sure.
So not
So,
a ton, but
Yeah. Not your problem. And then what about, so with backs, do you throw like deadlift in there? Do
Yeah.
you do- yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Rows, a bunch of rows, a bunch of
yeah.
pull down stuff. Yeah. That's
Yeah. Shoulder press, chest,
nice.
pecs.
Yeah. Yeah. I prefer, I always like overhead press more than a bench because like this isn't a natural movement. You're not doing this that often. Whereas you got to go overhead for more of those
Exactly.
things. So, yeah, I think it's an important weightlifting. How long you been at it for weightlifting?
To the point where like I've been like consistent, because at times like I feel like for me when I was younger, I used to like say I was gonna work out and then kind of like fell behind.
Sure.
And then went through phases, but now consistently I've been like, I'd say for like a year and a half.
Nice. That's great. That's great. How often do you go?
I'd say usually I try for 6 times a week, but there's usually 2 days where it's like I don't have the time, so
Yeah.
or I'll try to do a mini one
Sure.
one day, but usually I go for 6.
Yeah, that makes sense. Wow, that's a lot. Yeah, I say that when I was in my 20s, I had a gym in my backyard.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and so I would work out 3 hours a day, 6 days a week, and it was like so much. And then I would have people come, and then we would all just like lift together. And I had pit bulls running around my backyard. It was awesome. It was in LA, so it was like
Oh
outdoor.
wow.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah. Then that was a lot. But now like everybody's like, I'm like in my mid 30s, like 3 days a week. 3 days a week is a good amount. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm trying to add more like yoga and like stuff like that to it. So try to keep it balanced.
For sure. And I mean yoga's great for a core.
Yeah,
too.
exactly. Yeah.
Are you a Lakers fan then? Did you grow up in LA?
I never followed sports, but I am a fan of any California team.
Yeah.
Are you a basketball fan?
Yeah. Mostly all like Chicago sports.
Yeah.
Except for the Sox. I'm a comic Cubs fan. So but yeah, looking forward to game 5 tonight.
Oh, gotcha. Nice. I can smell the peanut butter in your shake.
Yeah. I mean protein shakes are the best.
Gotta have them.
Oh yeah. Really, it just helps with like recovery and everything.
Oh yeah. You focus on protein on the diet, you're gonna do exactly. You're gonna build more muscle. You're gonna recover faster, and
Oh yeah.
it's good for the metabolism. So that's great, man. Who were some of your favorite? Like, where do you get your weightlifting knowledge? Who do you follow? What do you pay attention to?
Usually like I used to use like now I've been starting to use social media a little bit, but I used to have like a trainer actually a lifetime. That was really really good and kind of gave me like a workout plan.
Nice.
That was like just gave me like different exercises and it kind of like stuck. I got into like a routine where okay, this is what I'm gonna do on back and chest days. This is what I'm gonna do on leg days, and it just I've added a couple like here and there just with learning and seeing, but it's the point where it's become pretty consistent.
Sure, you're just like this is the routine. Here's what I'm doing these days. This is the workout. Sure.
And I mean, some days it's like hard to see. Like I feel like that's what everyone says. It's hard to see the results, but like it eventually, the more you keep at it, eventually it will come.
That's the consistency. Like you said, like the year and a half, like that's the window you want to look at it. People go, like you can get the newbie gangs where you like start and you're like, okay, I've got like 90 days in. I've been doing this for 90 days. You've got like good gains from it. You can see the musculature, but then that kind of peaks out, and then it's like here's where you're at, and then you have to keep consistent with it, and diet is part of it. That was always my goal. I used to be like a way bigger guy, so obviously I was a power lifter. But that's just because I was like I couldn't maintain the diet. It was like I would meal prep on Sunday. I would have that Sunday, Saturday, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then by Friday, I was like, I'm gonna eat a pizza. I'm gonna eat a pizza.
Yeah, exactly.
Friday, I'm gonna eat one Saturday, and I'm gonna eat one Sunday.
Yeah.
And that was it. I would undo the whole diet. So it was like, all right, I'll just.
I mean, some people say like, I think it's like, say like, oh, you have to cut out pizza, but like cutting out like the foods you enjoy is literally impossible.
Oh yeah.
Because like you're gonna cheat, so like why not like
incorporate it
in your diet?
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's what I've done, and I've heard that like intermittent fasting is like the best, because then like you're like in a sense like burning fat consistently throughout the day, and then eating more.
Oh yeah, and there's a ton of stuff on fasting. I personally love it. That is how I got down about 115 pounds so far.
Yeah.
And it's been exactly that, periods of fasting and intermittent fasting. So it's like I'll go like 2 days without food at all, just heavy water, and then switching to like 18 hours on and then a 6-hour eating window.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And that's exactly it, is that the metabolism, like your body stores fat because that's food. You've got it all on there. So you have to start getting the body to use that fatty tissue. And so that's a trick to fasting. It's been great. I really like it. I think there's a lot of science out there supporting it, because like we didn't have food. Like if you look, right, you got McDonald's over here, you got all these signs on the road, right? It's $1 billion industry on getting people to eat, 4th meal, 5th meal, right? Like
exactly,
stuffing
like Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Plus it's all like right here too, because there's McDonald's, Taco Bell, Burger King.
Right. And it's like you're driving, it's just right there, and it's so easy. But it's like we're not supposed to eat that much. We as humans never ate this often, and so that's what I try and focus on. And like rather than like cutting calories and counting them, I'm studying this guy, Doctor Joel Furman. He wrote a book called How Eat to Live, and then he has a couple other ones. And he says don't count calories, make every calorie count. He just talks about hypernutrition in food. Yeah. And so that's the stuff that I'm really fascinated by, because he talks about like, right now we have access to the most nutritious food we have ever before. We can make stuff as nutritiously dense for how many vitamins, nutrients, phytochemicals, all the stuff that we only study the micro little bit about. But it's like, okay, if you have access to it now, you can eat this way. And that's what I'm really liking. So like every day I just have like a giant salad before I eat anything else, and it's got like a whole list of stuff. I put seeds in it, berries, nuts, all this stuff, and it's like very specific. And it's great. Like my food cravings are way down, my sugar cravings are way down, and it's just naturally like, I don't need it, I'm fine with it. And then same thing, weight control is down. I got my like blood pressure and the cholesterol and all that stuff checked, and it was like, you're on like the good healthy range, like you're doing great. So it's seeming like that's a good way to eat.
Yeah. And then I feel like, what I've always struggled with is like finding that balance and not doing too much cardio, because then I feel like doing too much, like I don't run anymore. What I do for cardio is I'll either do the Stairmaster for 30 minutes or I'll do like high incline on the treadmill for 40 minutes with on like 3.5 speed. But like
nice, yeah,
it's hard. I feel like I don't know when to like not do too much cardio, because then I feel like you're kind of burning some of that muscle.
Sure. Yeah, you can definitely go catabolic and eat muscle. It really depends on where your calories are at for that. But then the other thing is the low intensity sustained state cardio is fat burning. Like your body prefers using fat for that. If so, what you're doing is you're if you'll be walking routinely, your body's going to say, okay, we're using fat to do this. And like there was an interesting study I was reading about the brain, and there was, I'm trying to remember, I forget his name, Peter Attia talked about humans. I think he was on Rogan, and he's on this other podcast I listened to, but he was talking about how humans have always walked. We've always had to walk, had to hunt, had to go. And this is part of how our brain processes. When you're walking, when you're doing these things, your brain is also processing not just the body fat that you're using for energy and for calories, but it's also like it's like sorting yourself out, and it's keeping your brain activated by seeing things pass by. Plus, on top of that, when things on your eyes pass by as you go, it's calming, it's relaxing.
Yeah.
And so that's really interesting I feel like so we're used to that type of stuff, but like you said, it's like the question is what type of cardio are you doing? Like some people will do like hardcore biking for 40 minutes or go for like a really hardcore run, and like you said, you could be kind of catabolic in that phase.
Yeah.
You could be using too much.
And I kind of, you were saying like with the calories, like I used to be like so obsessed, like okay, like I'm not gonna eat something that have 400 calories, but like calories like don't even matter. It's more like it's just energy. So I mean, if you're working incredibly hard, and you're eating like calories that are of like really high protein or like that's gonna have calories. So it's like it's all about what you're consuming.
Exactly, what you're consuming, how you're fitting it in. Like you said, like if you had a pizza that day, maybe don't follow it up with the burger. Right? You can keep the calorie, but like you said, you can outwork it. I definitely had that problem too. There's a term for it, it's called orthorexia, which is like not anorexia, you're eating, but it was like I would weigh everything out meticulously, figure out all my calories for the day, figure out all my macros for the day, plan everything out, and then like again live out of a Tupperware container. And like that got to the point where I would get anxiety like every Sunday, being like, I don't know, I gotta figure this out. And it's like this is too much of a problem. You gotta think about food a little bit less than that. So it's all about finding the balance. But like you said, if you're working out, if you're active, your body will take care of itself to a degree.
I've heard like I've always like I think burgers like aren't that bad. It's just like if you're usually what I try to do sometimes I just won't eat the bucket because I feel like it's you're getting great protein from the burger, so it's like
if you don't need it, you don't need it. And but see, that's the other thing too, is like, for if you look at all these people talking about what's the number one diet advice most commonly given is cut carbohydrates. But there's a reason they're a macronutrient. Like your body needs 3 things to function: protein, carbohydrates, and fat, right? So if you're gonna cut the carbs, like it's gonna not have the energy to work. Like that's a thing people will notice.
Exactly.
So you gotta find the right balance in it. Absolutely.
One of the best my favorite thing to eat before a workout is a piece of grilled chicken. Like that's just I have the best workout after that.
For sure, right? Yeah, because you've got the long energy. It takes longer to break down the protein, and so it keeps you for the workout. How long's your usual workout time?
I feel like at times I overdo it at times. I mean, now where I've gotten injured, but like I usually now like just kind of not having a lot to do yet until I start work. Just like 2.5, 3 hours usually is the max. But then I do it like appropriate, so I do like if I'm there for I'm probably not working out for 3 hours. I'm probably like because I'm taking healthy breaks in between, but I'm probably doing like an hour 15 on at times hour and a half of strictly weight training, and then hour 45 of cardio, and then 20 minutes of abs.
Gotcha.
So it's
that's a long workout. You're definitely in there working hard, man. Right on.
Oh, it's right on the left actually.
On the left. All right, do you want me to pull in?
Oh no, wherever. Here's great. Thank you very much.
No
great
problem.
talking.
Yeah, dude,
left tip on the F for you.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Have a good one, man.
Thank you. You too. Thanks. Take care.
Hey, you too. Thanks.